Polls got underway on April 26 in energy-rich Kazakhstan for a ballot almost certain to re-elect 74-year-old strongman incumbent President Nursultan Nazarbayev. Voting at over 9,000 polling stations across the country began at 1 o'clock GMT and will continue until 1400 hours o'clock GMT, according to the Central Election Commission, CEC. Few doubt the victory of autocrat Nazarbayev, who has ruled over the Central Asian countries since before independence in 1991. If he wins the 5-year term at stake, he will complete 3 decades as leader. His marginalist opponents have not offered any candidates for the election, but Nazarbayev will face 2 other rivals, both of whom are widely seen as pro-government figures. Turgun Syzdykov, a 68-year-old former provincial official who has campaigned on an anti-globalisation platform, railing against Hollywood, hamburgers, and computer games, will represent the Communist People's Party of Kazakhstan. Abulgazi Kusanov, 63, who has held several important governmental positions and currently heads the National Federation of Trade Unions, is standing as an independent after running a campaign touching on Kazakhstan's environmental problems. Kusanov cast his vote minutes after polling stations opened in the capital Astana. "This is not an election, it is a re-election," Dosim Saptiv, director of the Kazakhstan Risks Assessment Group, a think tank based in the largest city Almaty, told AFP. The significance of the event is no more than the fact that it may well be Nazarbayev's last. An Ipsos Mori poll released April 21 showed 91% of Kazakhstanis are satisfied with the septuagenarian strongman's rule. While he has never hinted at a successor, Nazarbayev stated his reluctance to run in the April 26 ballot at a meeting with citizens in March, before announcing his candidacy the following week. Most prosperous Central Asian state. Economic issues have come to the forefront in the most prosperous of the 5 Central Asian states, all former members of the Soviet Union. Domestic producers have been laying off workers in the country as they struggle to compete with Russian imports made cheaper by the dramatic weakening of the sanctions-hit ruble. Kazakhstan banned a number of Russian foodstuffs from the local market in March and April, citing standards violations, and has also restricted imports of Russian fuel. Moscow, traditionally viewed as a strong ally of the Republic, implemented similar measures this month. Depressed prices for Kazakhstan's main export, crude oil, have also created another headache for the government. Tamara, 63, a former accountant preparing to cast her vote in the capital, told AFP she would be voting for Nazarbayev. "I receive my pension without fuss. It is enough to live on," she said. "When you watch television, especially the crisis in Ukraine, it appears the world is preparing for war." Nazarbayev is a politician who is always on the side of stability. Over 9.5 million citizens will be eligible to vote in the vast country bordering both Russia and China, which has never held an election deemed free and fair by international monitors. In its interim report on the vote, the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSCE, raised concerns about Nazarbayev's institutional advantage. While Nazarbayev's posters and billboards are visible throughout the country, the other 2 candidates have distributed almost no campaign materials, the OSCE said. Nazarbayev won a 2011 election with 95.5% of the vote. Sunday's ballot, called a year ahead of schedule, is the 5th he has contested. On April 20, the country's Central Election Commission, CEC, announced the completion of the accreditation process for over 1,000 international observers, including 168 representatives of the foreign press. The OSCE has sent almost 300 observers to the vote, although 2 members of the mission had their accreditation revoked by the government at the organization's own request, the CEC said April 25.